Welcome to another video. Today it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be talking about a topic that might turn out to be a little bit controversial, but I just want to say this is all purely food for thought. This is just something that I think about the future of Binance. Of course, it could always end up in different directions than what I say, but I'm just going based on, previous things that have happened in the past and where I personally think Binance is headed in the future. So Binance has become extremely popular due to the fact of its very low trading fees, along with mass acceptance of members. They're open for signups. They've been growing very, very steadily, and that has resulted in a large amount of volume on Binance. It's actually the highest volume exchange aside from BitMEX. And so many people have been attracted to Binance for trading altcoins and all that. And personally, I'm going to talk about in this video why I think Binance originally grew and why I think in the future a lot of the reasons why it grew in the first point is sort of going to deteriorate over time. So the first thing I want to talk about are coins on the exchange. Now, I know a lot of people think whenever they think of an exchange, they just want the exchange to be, everything they want to trade. If you're on an exchange, you want to be able to trade every single coin. But obviously, there are a few inherent problems about that, because if the coins don't get an adequate amount of volume, then there's no point in trading them because there's very low liquidity. So, in my opinion, the best exchanges are the exchanges that focus on certain things. So, if you're going to look for an exchange, and if you look at exchanges that have been successful for a long time, for example, Coinbase, BitMEX, Bitfinex, they don't add a ton of coins at a time. You can see Coinbase only has 4 or 5 coins, and yet they've been around forever now, because all these exchanges do that are really successful for a long time is they find a certain niche, they find something that they can get really, really good, and then they just profit off that and build off of it, but they don't stray too much from their original goal. Now, I feel like Binance has really been going away from its original roots of having really, really good coins on it. You guys might have remembered, for example, Walton coin, a lot of coins that were very specialized only to Binance. Binance used to be an exchange where you'd say, oh, they don't have this on Bittrex. I really like this coin, so I'm going to go on Binance to trade it. And so that's really what created the Binance community in the first place, because there were so many successful coins that really had insane gains. So, people started to tell it to their friends. They started to say, Binance is doing really, really well. I have all these coins, cryptocurrencies that are, growing huge amounts. And that was something that I thought was really special about Binance. You had these very specialized coins. They were all doing very well because the team at Binance really did take a lot of time before accepting and adding these coins onto Binance. So that's what, in my opinion, creates a successful exchange. If you have high volume along with specialized pairs that the exchange thinks will be successful, that makes a better environment for the users with higher volume and better gains, and then also helps with growth since there is more word of mouth and more people recommending them to go to Binance. So recently what I've been seeing with Binance is really a mass listing on Binance. If you guys haven't seen, Binance has been adding coins every single day at this point, multiple coins per day. And if you guys remember, whenever a coin got added to Binance, it used to be a really big deal. Binance used to add coins maybe once or a few times a month, if any. And now I'm seeing, 2 to 3 listings a day for these altcoins. And here we can see a coin that got listed just an hour ago, where we see a 20% growth. Now, I know you guys might think, okay, 20% is pretty good, but that's comparing it to what it previously used to be, 100 or 200% every time a coin got listed, because people really believed in what Binance was doing with the research of the coins, and it was really special for a coin to get added to Binance. So what I think they're doing by listing so many coins is depleting their specialized picks of coins that used to be on their exchange. They're spreading out the volume, and I think that's really going to bite them in the long run because people aren't going to be making as much profit off the exchange. They're adding coins that would be considered, shit coins or bad coins in general that maybe don't have much technology behind it. And that creates a really bad environment for the users and a higher chance for your users to not make money, which can always end up bad. And it also spreads out volume. Obviously, Binance gets huge volume right now, but the more you spread it out, the more coins you add, the less liquidity there is on the exchange. And so that's always very important to look out for. Now, the next reason I wanted to talk about, aside from volume and the research behind the coins, is also the fees. So fees on Binance were one big factor that attracted a lot of people aside from making money and high volume. Most exchanges that people that were used to, such as Poloniex, Bittrex, had 0.25% fees, which were very high considering if you made a buy and a sell, it would be 0.5% fee every single time, which can really start to add up. So whenever Binance came along and they had their super low fees of 0.05%, if you have BNB, then that was super appealing for a lot of traders. So that's a great thing that we have on Binance right now. But something that's really bad and something that I guarantee a lot of people don't know about or have forgotten about is that this 0.1% trading fee and this 50% deduction with the Binance token is actually temporary. This is not going to stay forever, and they actually outlined how it's slowly going to be phased out. So if you look here, this is the discount rate from the normal amount of fees, which is 0.1% from the Binance fee system. So right now we have 50% of that 0.1%. So right now it's 0.05%. But as you can see over time, we're going to start to see this discount go away to the point where every time we make trades, we're going to have 0.2% fees because every time you buy and sell, it's 0.1. So you're going to have relatively higher fees. And I know that is something that they did originally for growth, just get as many people on the exchange as possible, then slowly phase out this lower fee structure. But I think that's really going to bite them in the butt because Binance has become known for these lower fees than competing exchanges. Some competing exchanges have even sort of leveled off with Binance and have similar fees to them at the 0.05% point. And I think the fact right now that they're super high volume and they have these low fees is making them way more money than they're ever going to need. I think they're making tons of money. And I think in order to keep their customer base happy and growing, I think a growing customer base is a lot better than a smaller customer base who's just getting paid higher fees. So I think that's something that's very, very negative that they're doing. Hopefully they come up with some solution to this. And I think the fact that they're going to be raising fees on Binance, therefore devaluing their coin because the Binance coin is going to become less needed as it does less for the exchange because people literally will not need it anymore. So their Binance coin is going to dump. People might, use it less since they aren't getting as good fees as they used to get. And you're going to have more of a spread out volume with all these altcoins getting added. And I think that's very, very negative. And they're all doing this at the same time. So it's only a matter of time to see what's going to happen with that. But one example of this I just wanted to point out was Bittrex. Bittrex last year was one of the biggest exchanges. I'd say it was definitely top 3 with Poloniex and Bitfinex and some of those other exchanges. And we really saw a big drop off in Bittrex, and it had similar reasons to Binance for that. They were obviously a higher volume exchange. They were very important, but what happened is they really accumulated so many altcoins that they were forced to delist so many of them. And at that point, the damage had already been done. Their volume was spread out so much and customers were starting to leave. And that's why we saw the death of Bittrex, or at least a lot less volume on Bittrex now than it used to be. We also saw massive delists of on Bittrex here. As you can see, this is a list of 80 tokens that they delisted just in 1 month. But I remember times when they released huge lists of coins that they're delisting. And I think Binance is eventually going to have to do something similar if they keep up adding coins the way they are right now. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this has made you think about Binance. I'm super excited to see what other exchanges come out in the future, especially decentralized exchanges that have no fees. I'd really like to see a much more free market away from, you know, some of these more controlling exchanges that are making money off listings and really have a lot of power over the market. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys in the next video.